Hello again. Today we'll be talking about praise. I hope that your child led play and your academic, emotional, and social coaching is going well. Keep up the good work with that and keep doing it. Like I said last week or the last video, that play is the foundation for our children, and so it's something that we always want to do every day if possible. And we'll get to that later on some more too, but a lot of times when we begin to see problems with our children, it's because they haven't had that quality time of just one-on-one play with mom or dad. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about praise. And just quickly, I wanted to discuss some of the benefits and the barriers that we see with praising our children. Because a lot of times a task like praise is very difficult. And so we need to explore a little bit why that could be. So first of all, the benefits of praise. We always want to hear the good things first. So one of the reasons that we want to praise our children is because it is going to immensely increase their self-esteem. Children who are praised just feel better about themselves, and then they can also turn around and make some compliments about other kids because they feel good about themselves. They can feel good about others too. Another benefit to praise is that the child immediately understands that the behavior that he or she is doing is a desirable, good choice behavior. This is really good for our children who just are not quite understanding the concepts of, good choices versus bad choices. So when they receive that praise immediately, they they understand it's a concrete, application that, oh, when I do this, this is good, and I get, praise for this. And as I was saying a minute ago, another benefit of praise is that we're modeling for our children how to praise themselves and how to praise others. The child who can praise himself or herself and can turn that into praising another child is going to be the child who's going to make friends. And we know how important social skills are for our children. Like I said in the last video, especially for our children going into kindergarten, we want to make sure that we are promoting those social skills, those good pro-social skills, and encouraging our children to praise themselves, because we're praising them is a perfect way to do that. Now, of course, there are some barriers to praise. If a parent grew up in a home where he or she wasn't praised, praising your children is going to feel awkward. And be prepared for that awkward turtle moment, where it's just going to be uncomfortable and it's going to take practice. So for my friends who were not exposed to praise as a child, you are not alone. And it might be a little bit more difficult for you than others at first, but with practice, you will definitely be able to do it. Another barrier to praise is that a lot of times with our children, they are very excited about their very minuscule in the grand scheme of life accomplishments, and it's hard to get excited about that sometimes. I know that I do this every day with my kiddos at least Monday through Friday, and I sometimes get very excited with my kiddos, and sometimes I just don't care. And that's a terrible confession. But at some point, we have to be able to put aside about me and make it about the child. So we do have to get excited about their accomplishments. So if they drew a circle for the 10,000th time today and they are very excited to show you and see how I drew my circle, you want to make sure, oh, that was an excellent circle that you drew, so and so. Make sure that you praise those small accomplishments. Another barrier to praise can be that a parent's self-esteem has to be high. It's very, very difficult for a parent who is experiencing low self-esteem to be able to turn around and praise his or her child, because they can't praise themselves. So a lot of times we have to practice even praising ourselves. So I have a lot of my parents talk to themselves in the moment of a really bad day, like with a tantrum with a child, and so they'll say, "Boy, I'm staying really calm," or "Wow, I did not yell today," or "Oh my goodness, I ignored that terrible misbehavior for 3 hours." I had a parent do that this week. It was very exciting. Anywho, so in order for us to be able to praise our children, it might take some work. It's definitely not an overnight thing. And that is something too that, I should explain with these videos. Um, this is a very condensed version of the concepts in Incredible Years. And most of the time, the change that takes place over at least 4 months. So if you're not seeing change overnight, that's okay. um, I wanted to do this project because I'm just very passionate about this population. But I also understand that trying to condense 16 weeks into 8 weeks is next to impossible. So, parents, do not feel discouraged. I know that with time, if you continue to work on these skills, or if you want to enhance these skills, I can give you some resources and you will see the success that my parents who participate for 4 months see. Now, something else that we need to talk about with praise. When we praise a child, we need to be careful that we are not praising for generalities. So we don't want to praise our child for being a good boy or a good girl. And we also don't want to constantly praise with the very generic good job. Um, and many of you will see, as I did, if you sit there and you practice praising your child, how many times you will say good job. Or maybe it's another word that's just your go-to word in your vocabulary. So we want to make sure that praise is immediate. Our praise for our children has to happen within 3 seconds of that good choice. So if the good choice was that the child followed your directions, you cannot in your head get to 1, 2, 3 before you say, "Thank you for following my directions. That was very good listening," or something like that. So in addition to our praise being immediate, it also needs to be labeled, meaning it needs to be very, very specific. So we want to say to our son, "Son, thank you for cleaning up your trucks and your race cars and putting them in the toy box," not "Son, thanks for cleaning up." This sounds like very much of a technicality, and in some ways it is, but when our children learn that we're praising them for very specific behaviors, they begin to understand what specifically is expected of them, and also specifically what we are looking for in calling good behaviors versus bad behaviors. So, very important. So for your homework on the discussion board, or on the blog posting replies here, I am going to ask all my parents here to list 5 praise phrases that you can use with your child. And good job cannot be one of them. So just think of some words that are praise words that you could use. I'll give you an example. One would be fantastic work. Um, so if you can think of 5 of those and post them under this praise topic headline, that would be fantastic. I look forward to engaging in the discussion with you. We will continue to talk about praise and build upon our pyramid, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks.